Trauma is not what happened to you. Trauma is what happened inside you as a result of what happened to you. And that distinction changes everything, because it means that trauma does not live in the event. It does not live in the memory. It does not live in the story you tell about what occurred. Trauma lives in your body. In the tension your shoulders have been carrying for years. In the way your breath becomes shallow in certain rooms. In the involuntary freeze that happens before you can think. In the stomach that tightens before conversations that remind your nervous system of something it never fully processed. Trauma is not a psychological concept. It is a physiological state. And understanding that is the beginning of healing it in a way that actually works. Most people think of trauma in terms of dramatic events, war, assault, serious accidents, catastrophic loss. And those experiences absolutely create trauma. But that definition leaves out the vast majority of traumatic experience that most people carry without ever recognizing it as trauma. Emotional neglect in childhood. Growing up in a home where conflict was constant and unpredictable. Being the child who learned to make themselves small to avoid a parent's anger. The repeated experience of having your feelings dismissed, your needs minimized, or your reality denied. The accumulated weight of years of chronic stress without adequate support. These experiences do not always produce the dramatic flashbacks associated with post-traumatic stress. But they produce something equally real and equally consequential, a nervous system that learned, through repeated experience, that the world is not safe. That people cannot be trusted. That expressing needs leads to punishment. That being seen is dangerous. And that nervous system is still running that same operating system in your adult body, in your adult relationships, in your adult life, long after the original conditions that created it have passed. Here is the central insight that changes how trauma is understood and treated. Your nervous system has three primary states. The first is safety, what researchers call ventral vagal state, where you feel calm, connected, present, and open. You can think clearly. You can feel your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You can connect with other people. You can access creativity, humor, and genuine pleasure. This is the state your nervous system was designed to spend most of its time in. The second state is mobilization, fight or flight, where your system detects threat and prepares for action. Heart rate rises. Muscles tense. Digestion shuts down. Attention narrows. This state is designed for short-term emergencies and should resolve quickly once the threat passes. The third state is immobilization, freeze or collapse, where the threat is perceived as so overwhelming that neither fighting nor fleeing is possible. The system shuts down. Dissociation appears. Numbness takes over. This is the state most associated with trauma, and it is the state the body gets stuck in when a traumatic experience is not fully processed and discharged. When trauma is not resolved, the nervous system does not return to safety. It stays on alert, running a continuous background threat assessment, scanning the environment for danger, and responding to present-day situations with the survival responses that were appropriate to past threats. This is not a failure of willpower or a sign of weakness. It is the nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you, based on the most recent reliable information it has. The problem is that the information it is working from is outdated. The threat has passed. But the body does not know that yet. And until the body knows, not the mind, not the intellect, not the carefully constructed narrative of "I have processed this," the survival response continues to activate in situations that no longer warrant it. This is why talking about trauma is often not enough. You can spend years in traditional talk therapy developing sophisticated intellectual understanding of your history, your patterns, and your wounds, and still find your body responding to your partner's raised voice the way it responded to your father's rage at age 7. Because the trauma is not stored in the narrative part of your brain. It is stored in the part that operates below language, in the brainstem, in the body's musculature, in the nervous system's learned responses. Healing trauma requires working at the level where it is stored. And that means working with the body, not instead of the mind, but in addition to it. So what does it actually look like to release trauma from the body? The first and most fundamental principle is completing incomplete survival responses. When an animal in the wild survives a predator attack, it does something humans almost never do: it shakes. Visibly, physically shakes, discharging the survival energy that was mobilized but not fully expended in the escape. That shaking is not weakness. It is the nervous system completing the stress response cycle and returning to baseline. Humans, in an attempt to maintain composure and avoid appearing out of control, suppress this natural discharge process. The survival energy that was mobilized during a traumatic event gets frozen in the body, held in the muscles, the fascia, the autonomic nervous system, and remains there until it is given an opportunity to complete. Practices that allow the body to safely discharge this held energy, trembling, shaking, vigorous physical movement, vocalization, breathwork, are not about re-traumatizing. They are about finally finishing what the nervous system started and was not allowed to complete. The second approach is working with the breath as a direct regulator of the autonomic nervous system. Slow, extended exhalation activates the parasympathetic system, the brake of the nervous system, and directly signals safety to the brainstem. Extended exhale breathing, where the out-breath is significantly longer than the in-breath, produces measurable reductions in heart rate, cortisol, and overall nervous system activation within minutes. For people carrying chronic trauma, this practice does something more profound than relaxation. It begins to teach the nervous system that it is possible to be safe, a lesson that may need to be repeated hundreds of times before the body genuinely believes it. But with repetition, the window of tolerance expands. The nervous system begins to spend more time in the safety state. And from that expanded safety, the rest of healing becomes possible. The third approach is titrated exposure, the gradual, careful process of bringing awareness to traumatic material in small enough doses that the nervous system can process it without becoming overwhelmed and shutting down. This is fundamentally different from flooding, from diving into the full intensity of a traumatic memory and hoping to power through it. Titration means approaching the edge of the material, noticing what happens in the body, and then deliberately returning to a resource, a safe memory, a physical sensation of groundedness, a connection with the present moment, before the system becomes dysregulated. This pendulation between the difficult material and the safe resource is what allows the nervous system to gradually integrate what it could not process at the time of the original event. It is slow. It is non-linear. It often feels like it is not working. And it is one of the most effective approaches to genuine trauma resolution that exists. If you made it to the end of this video, your body heard something in it, even if your mind is still processing. That is not a coincidence. Trauma is drawn to understanding. The part of you that has been carrying this in your shoulders, in your stomach, in the way you breathe in certain rooms, that part recognizes when someone is finally speaking its language. Start today with one breath. One extended exhale. One moment of noticing where your body is holding tension right now, without trying to fix it, without analysis, just with attention. That single act of body awareness is the beginning of the conversation your nervous system has been waiting to have. Share this video with someone you sense is carrying something they have never been able to name, because sometimes the most healing thing you can offer someone is the knowledge that what they feel has a name, a mechanism, and a path through. Subscribe to continue this journey, because the next video is going to reveal something that has been hiding in plain sight as one of the most powerful healing tools available to the human nervous system, the healing power of nature, what happens to your brain, your cortisol, your immune system, and your sense of self when you spend time in natural environments, and why it is far more than just a pleasant experience. See you there.